today is Spenta Patel. Spenta was our Grehlakshmi Mrs. India 2023. Somebody comes up to me and says, "Do you know what a Parsi peg is?" So I said, "No." So the guy goes, "A normal peg is 2 fingers, right?" He says, "The Parsi peg is also 2 fingers." So on that note, we've come across my very, very favorite Parsi in the whole world, Spenta Patel.
How sweet.
Spenta, I believe you spent a bit of time down under in a place called Australia. So would you like to
Howdy,
share-
mate.
Yeah, how you met. Yes. Share with us something about Melbourne, was it?
Yes,
Yes.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
So I spent around 2.5, 3 years there. And what people don't know about Australia is that they always talk about Sydney and Harbour Bridge and all
Correct.
these places which
Right.
are very famous.
Mm.
But they do not think about the natural beauty that Melbourne has
Right.
and the places around in Victoria.
Mhm.
That's what I'm very fond of.
Yes.
So had I settled there, I would have definitely picked Melbourne over Sydney.
I believe that's where you got married also, right?
No, I got
Okay.
married in India itself, but I found my partner in Australia.
Oh, you found him in Australia,
Yeah,
yes.
and surprisingly so, with so many few Parsis that we have, I
Right.
still found a Parsi there.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
makes my parents happy.
Yeah. What are your abiding memories as a working professional here?
I think my most abiding memories would be the growth that I've been through,
Okay.
and the fact that I used to be an animator and filmmaker, but I
Ah,
jumped
okay.
from there,
Right.
and now I'm into pageantry.
Because when I see you, you always look very animated. But please,
That's
please
true.
tell us a little about animation.
Animation is all about cartoons, and you can see a cartoon in front of you.
What made you, as an animator, get animated about the fashion world?
I think the fact that I lost my job during COVID,
Oh.
but I always believe that something happens for a reason,
Mhm.
and that reason pushed me to pageantry,
Okay.
and I've never looked back ever since.
But how do you think pageantry
Hmm.
helped overcome this phase in your life?
So I got pregnant when I was in COVID. Basically, before that also we were working from home.
Mhm.
So I think it had reduced my confidence a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, although I'm very, bubbly and chirpy as you see me now, but I think I wasn't that. I
Mhm.
think pageantry changed that about me. It got me out of that shell of being, in that.
Cocoon that you were
Yeah. And then, sort of one step after another, it just flowed through.
in. So when you talked about conceiving your child in COVID,
Hmm.
I was about to ask you whether his name is Virus. but I know he's a very cute boy, having met him, having a supportive partner. How has that helped you?
Basically, nobody knows this, but he was the one who said, "Okay, what are you procrastinating about? You've seen Diva Pageants, you want to go for it. I filled the form. Now you go and give the audition.
Oh,
now
he's the one who filled the form
Yes.
for you. Wow.
So he's like,
Wow.
I filled the form. Now you go and see whatever happens at the audition."
Yes. Why specifically Diva?
I think when you want to do something, you sort out the best, right?
Right?
So I asked everywhere, I saw everything, and then I made an informed choice to
Mhm.
dare, dream, and dazzle.
Wow. So this is I think a lovely endorsement of brand.
Huh.
What do you think that Diva advocates?
Women inclusivity
Right?
and promoting women in all facets of life.
Super. Now, you were part of our Mrs. Maharashtra 2022, and sadly, you didn't get the main crown. The question is this: after the angst and the trepidation that you must have felt, what got you out of this headspace?
I've always been a person who sort of, introspects,
Right,
right? So I did feel bad. Obviously,
Right.
everybody feels bad.
right.
But instead of, crying over it, I did go through a lot of changes in myself.
Mhm.
Like, I thought that I fell short somewhere.
Hmm.
And I think I also fell short in the feeling that I was supposed to feel like a winner from inside, from
Excellent.
within.
Excellent.
And I think that was a major switch that happened from Mrs. Maharashtra to Mrs. India.
So instead of crying over spilled milk, you decided, let me not shed tears over a lost crown. Great. I think that is what spurred you on to Grehlakshmi Mrs. India.
Yes.
This happened in 2023, and I know and I'm very proud to say that you were the winner. Tell us about this whole transitory phase.
So basically, a major part of that transitory phase was you
Right.
and ma'am,
Okay.
definitely. And obviously, Arish, my husband.
Right.
All of y'all, I think, gave me pointers wherein I could improve myself.
Mhm.
And I just kept on pushing that way.
Right.
And a major part of that I would thank Arish for,
Mhm.
because he never expected me. He said, do your best. I want you to enjoy this.
Right. Right.
Rather than,
right.
having the pressure of winning.
Right.
I know you have it in you, you can do it.
Mhm.
But even if you don't, just enjoy yourself and come back.
Right.
So
No, I
that made
think
a lot of difference.
one must give a huge pat on the back to Arish. When you have somebody who is your spouse who pushes you on, I think it manifests in you seeking more to becoming better and to winning at life. How is your time post winning?
Grehlakshmi has actually exposed me to a lot of acting.
Mhm.
So in acting, what you do is you again introspect
Right.
what you are, how you are, and how you can turn your experiences
Right.
into whatever character that you're playing.
Right.
So that sort of opened up a lot of doors for me
Mhm.
in terms of understanding myself,
Right.
again becoming a step more confident than what I am today.
Right.
I mean, what I was previously. And then it opened up doors to different brands. It
Mhm.
opened up my idea to grooming and training, being associated with Grehlakshmi as well.
Mhm.
And to have that entire responsibility of so many people getting inspired by me,
Wow.
that was something that was like
That
an
is something you found
eye-opener.
very inspirational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wakes me up early in the morning, gets me excited to get out of bed and to be a better version of myself each and every day.
Wow. So eloquently put. Because I know I tell people now in the business that we are in, which is pageants. I've stopped working with my head and now purely work with my heart. And that is the reason why I have this joy even at maybe 11:30 at night. Because it's definitely the betterment of people that we try to inculcate. Let me ask you this. You talked of Australia
Hmm.
and you talked of Victoria.
Hmm.
So at the time when you were there, did pageants make you feel like Queen Victoria?
Quite the opposite. To tell you, I met my mother-in-law first time when we were roaming around in Victoria.
So she's more like a Queen Elizabeth. And how would you share your learnings with your 3-year-old son?
I think I've learned it the very hard way.
Mhm.
But I would tell him, just enjoy life to the fullest.
Right.
Live in the moment.
Right.
And give 100% to whatever you are doing and
Mhm.
whatever you love doing. That's
Excellent.
it.
Excellent. No,
Don't bother about other
someday
people.
when he's 20 and he's lying on a beach in Goa, and you ask him, "What are you doing?" He says, "Mom, you told me to enjoy life, so that's what I'm doing."
I think Arish and I would be sitting somewhere besides him,
Right.
chilling and having beer.
Having beer along with him. Yes, yes, yes. So now, Spenta, pageantry has been a very important part of your life. In fact, I'm very proud to say you are now an integral part of DIVA. What are points of view that you'd wish to share with any pageant aspirant?
I get this question very often, sir, when people, ladies, aspiring ladies come and talk to me.
Right.
They say, what am I going to get from the pageant post, doing this pageant?
Post the finale.
Post the finale.
Right.
If I'm a winner or if I'm not a winner, still, what am I going to get out
Right.
of it? Okay. So I like to tell them that everything will be served to a platter.
Right.
For you.
Mhm.
Okay. But then, like how we have our network, we share the network with
Correct.
them. We tell them to, go for photo shoots and all these things. But nobody will take a spoon and actually feed it to you. That
Right.
you have to do on
Right.
your own.
So you liken it to a buffet meal.
Yeah.
That you pick and choose from that buffet what exactly you feel will fill you. Okay. We normally have people that associate with us. Do any partners offhand come to mind?
We had a session, I think, with the finance partner.
Oh,
that
you're
is
talking about Prashant
Prashant
Wag,
Wag.
right?
Yes, Mr. Prashant Wag.
Yes.
And I thought it was very interesting because he came up with different ways for women to make themselves independent.
Right, through finance, yeah, becoming
through
financially
finance.
independent. Correct,
Yeah, yeah.
correct.
So
Correct.
I think that was something that stood out for me.
Right.
And another partner that I personally went to
Okay.
was Dr. Prathamesh
Joshi, right.
Yes. So it was amazing because he had state-of-the-art facility. So he gave me a walkthrough around his entire facility, and I was amazed at what all things we have even in India.
Spenta, what does the term brand enhancement mean to you?
Well, normally I'm enhancing my brand.
True.
Right? Today I'm going to take a stand and enhance your brand.
Oh,
I have something special for you.
oh, that's the famous Karl Lagerfeld. And someday, I hope this Karl gets as famous as the one you're carrying.
Oh, you already are. In our eyes, you already are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Spenta. Thank you. Brand Spenta Patel.
Yes.
You are now winner Grehlakshmi Mrs. India 2023. The crown sits aloft and atop your head. What next?
International, sir.
Oh, you plan to go international?
Yes.
Okay, and what has been again, who has been your inspiration for going international?
My inspiration has been definitely Sushmita Sen,
It's
although
a cliche, yes.
It's a cliche. But yeah, because I have seen her transitioning, and now you can see how she's, blossomed into this wonderful woman. That how do these women learn to do all these things? How
Right.
do they remain so poised?
Right.
And there's something that is very, very attractive about them in the first
And
place.
was it the crown specifically, or was it the polish and the poise that these women carried?
It's the polish and the poise, it's their demeanor
Right.
rather than the crown.
Right.
Because you can't wear the crown everywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you're looking poised and polished right now, despite the crown not being visible on your head. So we come to our oft-repeated phase at Diva, which is whether life gives you a smile or a frown, always wear your invisible crown.
Yes.
And Spenta, you are the living embodiment of that line, because the positivity that you radiate, I think, permeates into everybody that you meet. Most people put ma'am and me on a little bit of a pedestal, rightly or wrongly. But you are a very integral part of us, and normally the first point of contact that a pageant aspirant would interact with.
Yeah.
What are the kind of questions that you get asked?
First, they want to find out whether it's genuine or not genuine. That's a very
Right.
common question.
Right.
But other than that, they also want to find out that what they would gain out of it. Okay.
Gain out of the pageant.
Out of the pageant.
Right.
So I tell them that more than the crown, it is the experience that you go through.
Wow.
Okay. It sort of changes your life 360 degrees because you become a better version of yourself, a more
Right.
confident person.
Right, right.
And that's what you carry throughout your life
Mhm.
rather than the crown. Yes, absolutely.
Cliched as this may sound, I love the fact, Spenta, that you've reinforced what is a very genuine belief, that the growth as a person that you experience is far, far, far more than the crown that will eventually sit on your head, because that's momentary.
Yeah.
It's for that evening, and
Yeah.
very rarely do you keep carrying your crown around with you.
Correct.
But if you learn to walk with poise and grace, that carries forward for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And it comes back to that catch line you asked me about, is get groomed and command the room. If you truly understand that grooming is beyond makeup and beyond the clothes you wear, you command every room that you enter.
Exactly. It's very few people actually, sir, that, walk into the room and it brightens up everybody,
Right,
with their smile.
right, right. Does any one person or maybe couple of people come to your mind where you've seen transformation before your eyes?
So there's Manisha Naik-Navri, or Manisha Papani, as you all know her. She has absolutely transformed herself, although she's never had the crown on her head.
The winner's crown,
Yeah,
yeah.
the winner's crown on her head. But there's something about her demeanor, her confidence that has changed impeccably. And she is somebody that I really, really look up to.
What a beautiful example, because I still remember the extremely shy, very reticent, Manisha that I first knew. And when I see her today, I mean, she's a nurse I would love to go to. I mean, she's in the nursing field, and I'm more nurses should look and have a similar demeanor. I'm sure a lot more patients would be falling sick. Before we end, and I think this has been absolutely fascinating, one of the best sessions that I've had the privilege of being with in 2020. I had the good fortune of writing a book, and this is a compilation of the various introductions that I have the privilege of. Incidentally, do you remember your pageant introduction at Grehlakshmi?
My introduction, I remember specifically two lines
Mhm.
that were there in Mrs. Maharashtra as
Hmm.
well, and that were there in Mrs. India as well,
Okay.
because you absolutely, took those lines, because I resonate so very well with them. So I'm an animator by profession, but dancer at heart. Creativity and passion, that is what sets me apart.
Wow. And creativity and passion is definitely what will set this session apart.
A couple of moments ago, you asked about my sanity. What about yours? Yours always surrounded by so many women every season, and
Yeah.
everyone is different.
And beautiful woman at that. So like I said in the past, the numbers of my spectacles, they keep going up with every pageant. And I know, and when I see so much of beauty in front of me, they kind of get foggy at times. But I think, Spenta, one maintains one's sanity through the work that we do, which is specifically this: the development of people, in this case, women, for a better life. Because I think a lot of people get sidetracked with this word pageantry and the glamour and the fashion and stage. But to me, life is a stage. And when each of us learn to play our parts with maturity and wisdom, is when the beauty of life truly unfolds. You see, we become less antagonistic, we become less judgmental. And this is how I keep my sanity. The looking forward to what comes next instead of what lies beneath. People that know me know of this famous line of mine, which is get groomed and command the room, which essentially means today, if you learn that grooming is more than hair and makeup, more than mascara and blush on, and truly work on internalizing what you believe in, you externalize magnificence.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something from you.
Brenda, privilege being with you and absolutely delightful sharing what we have. I'd like to give you a gift just before we close, which is a book that I wrote in 2020. At the time when you lost your job, I found a different kind of a calling that was putting myself on the shelf. I gift this to you, and with just this one line, which says, "May this be the beginning of everything great forward."